the calm within which we now move forward. Let's see, what? 7:48 a.m. Friday, August 4th, 2017. Bada boom, bada bing. 7:49. Bada boom. 7:48, that's 847. 8 is data, knowledge, 4 is fortitude, and 7 is spirit, spiritual knowledge. Accessing, gaining as in accessing data, maintaining your fortitude to achieve your spiritual knowledge. Like being strong to keep going to get the information you need to understand more about yourself and what's going on. Okay. $750. Completion of physical movement, spiritually speaking. That's a little hint. You're going to see me a lot in my without my overalls. When I know I have to go somewhere, I'll go ahead and wear them sometimes. Like today, I won't shave. I'm tired. I don't feel good. I'm getting sicker. I'm getting closer to leaving. As I said to the introduction in the last video, the one right before this, the one previous to this, about ETs and lawyers, etc. Excuse me. I'm going to change that just a little bit. I had an important job to do while I was here, and I've pretty much done it. I have to finish doing this stuff with the lawyers. That's part about why I talked about it so much in that video. I can hardly remember anything consciously, as you all know. I'm spread out so thin all over the place, being all over the place, trying to go through time to see something. Unless it's really important, it's hard for me to focus. And every time we remember something, a little over 2/3 of the time you go to remember, you're going through time. So I'm not saying like what you do, I can go through time. I'm saying I can't remember like normal people. The more you hear about this stuff and relate to it, the more you start to see it and understand it, and the more the excitement goes away, which is cool at first. But as the excitement goes away, you settle down. The more you settle down, the stronger your abilities get. The more you can see, feel, and understand. The more you can take in, the more you grow into who you really are as you begin to use all of your abilities, senses, faculties, whatever you want to call them. Just don't call them gifts. They're not. It's part of you. A gift thing flows into religious crap. Anyway, things are going to start happening now, but well, they've been happening for a while, but it's starting to pick up speed. That's with our ET friends. They're all over the house here. They've been coming to Deanna for a real long time. They've been coming to Paul in Berjou. Paul has them in and out of the house all the time. I'm going to put a video over here that's taken from Paul's neighborhood near his house. You're going to see two clouds that look funny, and they're tilted like this. That was done on purpose so Paul would know who they are. Paul's very strong pineal. He can see very easily what they are. You can look at it and you say, okay, someone either Photoshop the clouds to tilt like that. Paul can't do Photoshop. I can't do crap with a computer. And, Paul, I love you, but you can't even do what I do. I mean, when it comes to computers, Paul and I just kind of suck. We can do what we have to. Don't get me wrong. We're not crippled, but we don't know how to do any of that fancy stuff. We got more important things to do in our lives. Deanna knows a little more about it, but not that much more. With computers, it's hard. And now that Deanna's become so strong metaphysically, when that happens, you lose a little bit of your book sense, but you find out you don't need it because you have something that's worth more and helps you move forward more. So do you become dumber when you wake up? No, much smarter. You might think it's a little dumber because you lose a little book sense, but you gain knowledge and you're able to do things you never could have done before. So they used to tease Einstein every once in a while. His reporter did one time and said, Einstein, I understand that you have no memory and you don't even remember your phone number. How is it that you're supposed to be the smartest man on the planet? He goes, well, I don't know about the smartest man on the planet thing, but I am smart enough to know that I can go to any phone book and find my phone number if I need it. And he said, and honestly, I don't call myself too much anyway. So that was his way of giving an intelligent retort to someone who was trying to be a smartass. So I've done that a couple times, but I don't have to do it much. It's not worth my time. It's a waste. It's just that I had to do it a couple times just to stick up for myself. I wouldn't bother with it anymore. I'd just go into the person's head and mess with them. That's not usually like me, but I'm tired and I'm sick. The body's dying. I've been getting worse since September 1st, 2015, so it's just time. A lot of messages you're going to get. Try to listen to them now if you would. You might have a bug come to you and move around. And then it actually means something if you look at the motion of the bug. Could be dragonfly, could be an ant. Ant means get busy. Dragonflies usually mean something about 1.5. Usually like 1.5 months is something possibly coming in. A day and a half. Just see what it means. It could mean that things are getting ready to take off. Dragonflies, they can hover and then all of a sudden, poof, take off. So, and they do it with a certain strength. So that might be the case. Anyway, also this thing about this, back on topic, about this coming in smoother. The original first being male and female. They brought you all kinds of wonderful things before they were finally destroyed. They brought you 9/11. 9 is elder, and for them it meant eldest. And then 1/1, that's the Mother, Father, God. Praise Mother, Father, God. And they were telling you, screw you, we'll bring you, we'll kill you, don't worry about it. You do what we tell you to. And then, of course, we have 3/11. What happened 3/11? I heard the first one, the crows outside. Raven, actually. First one was hurry, 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 and then the second was an actual message. Just saying you have things you have to do now. Apparently places I have to go. So I gotta be getting in my overalls anyway. They're comfortable. It's just I'm just getting short on days. I'm tired, sick. Call it lazy, I don't care. Whatever, it's just you get to this point you'll understand. Anyway, they're dead. They're gone. They were supposed to be World War III starting and then it'd be stopped and everybody praise Mother, Father, God. Now all that crap's over. Things are going to happen. They're going to happen smooth. You're going to have doctors. You're going to have doctors that go up and off in ships. I had a friend that worked for me. Wow. I had a friend that worked at the coffee shop at a Barnes and Noble that's now closed, that literally went to work there just to come, talk with me and stuff like that, because I was going in and out of the place a lot. I was there and I started waking up. He's Palladian gentleman, really cool guy. And he just popped in, boom. And he's so intelligent. It's like, holy crap. What the hell's this guy doing at serving coffee? Then he started helping out, running everything in the store before they closed. He was like an assistant manager. He never got the title, but the store was closed and he didn't really care. And then he went to do something else. But he spent a lot of time on ships. Every couple of weeks, at least, he needed to be up there. But he got sent down there. We used to talk about stuff. And then blatantly, after the 8/11 tsunami was stopped, which mostly the Palladian were involved in that and some really strong source and some very strong soul, really cool. Friend of mine, I'll hold off on this name. But anyway, and then Faye Essence was there also. We were involved bringing some folks here to this planet Spirit that actually, in their own little bodies, and they literally could phase through things and displace as they move through something physical, they can phase it into different dimensions at one time. That stopped the 8/11 tsunami, but there's something going on with that now. Anyway, after that was over, Van wanted to know about some of the other seismic stuff that was happening around the world, and I told him about something in off the western coast of Africa. It might be just north of South Africa on the west coast, out in the ocean, where they're going to try to do the same thing, and then the actual Palladians themselves got involved. And stopped that. He asked about stuff. He started asking about stuff outright. I was typing email. This is about 8 years ago. Well, 2011. Wow, it was a long time ago. Anyway, about 6 years ago. Anyway, I'm trying to get some stuff out of my head. There's stuff going on, coming here in space. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's stuff coming together. A lot more ship activity. They're coming here to start some stuff. I was talking with them about that this morning. Melee to ear, Serene. This other gentleman, don't have a name for him. He's an interesting being. He's a little more humanoid than the rest of them, but he's kind of a young guy. He's mostly pineal energy, but he's like a medical doctor and everything. Has a very strong understanding of biologies of different planets. Anyway, where the hell was I? It's hard to be in a lot of different places at one time. Anyway, so with Van, so he and I started talking open about it. I'm trying to get past that to the next one. There was another time that happened when I had done at that place. The store manager got to know me. I kept telling people stuff about stuff that was going on. I looked at this one girl that worked there. I said, "You have owls all over the place waking you up. What, 2 to 4 in the morning?" She goes, "Yeah. They just came out of nowhere. I told them to shut up." And I said, well, I stopped and I talked to the owls. And I said, okay. So she came back the next day and she said, "That's incredible. They shut up." And I said, well, it won't be for long because they're there to tell you you're getting good knowledge and you use it. And 2 days later, they started up again. They said, "Jay, they won't leave." And I said, well, at this point, I'm staying out of it. Just, relax, open up a little bit. Then she did, and then it quieted down. But they started nesting right outside the house. It's just they started being polite. But the gentleman that worked there, this lady, I just happened to be there. Imagine that. This lady, like what you would call a homeless bag lady, had a cart, a shopping cart, and junk in it, and she came into the Barnes and Noble, and she just moved around. And he goes, Jay, there's a situation here that I think you're supposed to take care of. He got sent to me to say that, and there's a lady, it was an angel that made a body as a physical lady and had a hard time making the whole body. Had to cover up one of the hands with it's like some cellophane stuff. It couldn't, like, looked at it, it couldn't quite finish forming the hand and stuff properly. But and whatever. I'm not going to go through that experience, but I talked to her. She wanted to talk for a while, and she wanted me to show her compassion. So it's whatever, of course I did, and she said, "You hungry?" Sure. So I went to buy her something to eat. Angels, they're not going to eat food. It's too hard to digest and get rid of. When they drop the body, then they're stuck with the food there. It's not a regular body. So then I bought it for her, and then she wouldn't eat it. She just wanted me to. The idea was for me to show compassion, and that was that's when the original first being male and female were still around. Anyway, there's a lot of Palladian and Intromedian folks from ships. They're hospital ships for those groups that are on the way in. They're on the way in. And they're going to be, literally, because they look human, they're human as hell. They have some of our DNA in them. Lemuria was settled by a lot of Andromedian and Palladian. That's in book number 2. I believe it is. I can't remember everything I wrote there. Part of me outside of this body is what's, talking with me, talks in my head, something it wants me to bring up, and I'm trying to relate with it well. And this morning, that part of what used to be me is what it really is. It's my energy, but it's released, so it has it's developed its own personality, it's its own individual, like the little pieces of Gaia. The 2 parts of the Kundalini, that one part is you, and then a slightly smaller but very strong part is used to be part of Gaia, the planet's planetary essence. That she removed a wave of them about 11.25 million years ago, 11.18 million years ago. Anyway, I get lost in numbers, and it just takes me away from my flow of thought. Anyway, lots of anyways, and am I talking? I was trying not to say or anything else. So anyway, they'll be going to hospitals and just popping in and out. Literally giving a person some medication, hitting them with an energy device that'll help the human body. And while no one knows it, when no one's around, they'll just beam right in. Take care, do something to help the people and leave. And people start feeling better. And the doctor's like, "What the hell happened? You're feeling better? That's great." Because, yeah, that other doctor came in, thanks. And the regular doctor's going to be, "What?" It's all going to be quiet. It's going to be soft. There's no more, crazy disasters like 911. There's going to be no more crazy disasters on like the 11th and stuff like that, unless it's something detrimental to the stuff that's being detrimental to everything else here. So things will start changing. As soon as Arae's put together, finished being put together on the other side, which will take moments. Once this body drops, then finally things will start really settling down. And the other side does run this one. A part of my energy outside of my body, I'm a hell of a lot stronger than it. It can damn near run me. But what it said this morning that I started to mention earlier, but I never got there. What it said to me this morning, it said, look, just please let me help you. Didn't say please, but the feeling, the energy frequencies of please was there. It was very cordial, very kind, very compassionate. It said, look, man, let me help you. Let's, let me help you get this stuff done. Because you got to go. Even Deanna, she's just had a dream about, my getting old and dying. We have all kinds of stuff going on. Deanna and our friends from, we call them out-of-towners. Our friends from out of town. Other planets, they've been coming to her family a long time. So, she had some very bad experiences that affected her. Some of her other family members have too. That's because the old way existed, because the original first being male and female, they were sick. And too many lower frequencies. So anyway, that's in the finishing processes of being handled. Being handled is the right way to word that. So things will happen smooth and gradual, so people aren't freaking out. Now, it's going to be really more so with those of you that listen to me. You're not going to be so freaked out by stuff happening. That's one reason why it's important. Whether I'm here or gone already, doesn't matter. You will be seeing images of them on these night cameras and stuff. And I've already talked with them individually, telepathically, and I made a long statement this morning, talking with them since time. So they will be making appearances. Then you'll see a little more about what they look like, and that's a good way to be introduced to something, is through a video. And then when you see them in person, what happens? It's not as big a smack. Y'all are going to be seeing more and more of yourselves, being aware of more and more of yourselves, who you really are, what you can do. When you understand how powerful your heart is and what you can do, you'll say, wow, I never knew that's what I was. It's time for this to happen, and it's going to happen as smooth as possible. It's been happening slow, but now it's picking up a little speed. It's going to be nice. It's going to be gradual. Things will be happening, and then when you finally find something out, you'll have already had some type of introduction to it, so things will be like, oh, okay. Instead of, wah, freaking out, Now, there's a lot of people that won't believe any of it, and then all of a sudden, the people that aren't awake at all and don't want to wake up, and they won't believe it, and finally everyone else is like, well, look, what's your problem here? It's easy to understand. So that's how we're going to go from, that's part of how this is starting to happen now, where we're flowing from, not awake to becoming awake. And that's the new format. In and out of body, it doesn't matter. It's the whole new format for creation. And you will be aware of who you are, see its other spirit, and see things going on in different places. And you will know that you're driving around a car, you're in a vessel, a body, physical body. And you are not that body. You are what's in the body. You're yourself that's in that body. And you will be going into bodies without having the spirit from the planet put in there. And there's people say they can take it out and do stuff. They're full of shit. The only one that can do that is me. So those of you that don't like it, chewing those apples, I hope they're sour for you. I don't care. This isn't about me. I'm just tired of hearing people's shit. When's the last time they did a quantitative electroencephalogram on someone's brain almost halfway around the world? I'll give you proof. You can deny it all you want. I don't care. I gave you what you needed. That's what matters. I need to get to the next part of my life, my work. It's like I cleaned up the library, put a couple new books in it, but now I got to go up to a couple more floors ahead of me, 10 floors upstairs, and do other things up there that are more major. Everything from building with a hammer and a saw to and a welder to cleaning, resetting up, putting in new furniture on different levels. It's kind of funny. I've told all y'all that have been listening to me for a while that if I went to myself 10 years ago and told myself what I know now, I would have thought I was nuts because I wasn't aware yet. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought I was nuts, but I would have said, okay, that's too much to chew right now. But the nice thing is that, the information's there once it's presented to you. And as you relax, you go into the field and pull out what you want. You don't lose. All right. Anyway, those of you that have been cranked up by me and you're strong, when our friends from, of course, the problematic people here on this planet, but they're getting the crap beat out of them, the Anunnaki no longer run this planet. This planet's not in a free fall, but it's in a position where there's a very evident lack of controlling factor. The only thing that's controlling is the fact that the Drakh are overlooking things, saying don't do this and don't do that. Like this isn't allowed, that's not allowed. But it has to do more with other stuff from other planets. So that's gonna all blend into something else soon. A little bit later. Just let me get out of here. That's basically what I wanted to say. That the more you wake up, the more you see and understand. And those of you that are already awoken. Oh yeah, the people that have, those of you that already have awoken up. There's a lot of people that are going to want to talk to you, and whether they want to or know they need to or not, they need your help trying to understand everything that's happening. Crap! I lost that other thought. I just remembered. I was trying to hold off on when I was finishing the other one. Oh yeah, those of you that have been cranked up, the things that have anything that has a scanner that reads spirit energy, there's a few groups here on the planet, but also all the friends and ships. They know who you are. You're getting more and more visitation. Those of you that are sending the DNA stuff, I have not forgotten you, okay? I'm just really busy. My brain's been hammered so hard for weeks. Changing things. So I can hear a pin drop in a house now. All this has to do with the folks coming in and out of, coming in and out, beaming in and out of the house. So my physical senses in these bodies, even though the body's fading away, they're being made super sensitive. So I will be aware, and I will be able to be responsible for helping. With the soft introduction, so to speak. And whatever doesn't happen with me being here, it'll happen for a fact once I'm gone with Deanna. That's right. That'll tell him, huh? That's the older cat down here that's getting mad at the other one. Message for me is just being aggressive, be more aggressive with what I'm saying. Don't say it won't happen while I'm here. Hey, you know what? The proof is in the pudding. So that's, I talk with the other side all the time. They'll give me message. I'm like, hey, message is message. Get a phone call, someone says something, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's like, prove it to me. Physical world, physical proof. I have enough faith in what I'm telling you to go ahead and tell you. But I always say you have to let things lie as they are. It's hard enough to control what little we can in our lives, let alone control the future of what's going to happen in everyone's life, but especially in our own. Controlling a car while you're driving, that's a whole lot more doable. Anyway, so a lot of you are that have been cranked up. You stick out. You're getting a lot more visitation. A lot of y'all have been, especially that DNA work. Y'all have special purpose. Okay, that's why you can meet for a crank up. We appreciate y'all helping the effort too with the monetary supply to keep things going. That's not the word I was looking for. It's like a contribution or something. I can't get the word. But anyway, Dan and I appreciate it, and I really appreciate it because it's important to be able to keep moving this along. Y'all are helping. But y'all have a lot of folks coming in now. You'll be seeing them more and more, and your head's going to get hit harder, especially the DNA stuff. Your head, your body. You're changing. It's not like the movies. Poof, ta-da! No such thing. One time I was going through so much crap, pain in my head, as my head was getting worked on. This is after the original first being male and female were destroyed, and everything else that was a problem was destroyed. So it should have been easy. And I was talking with a guy, and she was in my head working. I said, why can't y'all get together and just destroy my brain overnight, make it where it needs to be? And then, I don't care if I bleed out of the nose and ears and eyes and everything. Just get it done overnight instead of this daily crap. And she looked at me and she literally gave me the message of, you're watching too many movies. That's Kaya. And she was serious. She said, and the message there, of course, is, look, it's not like that. And in regard to the to our visitation with the folks that come here, especially with Deanna, with our embryos being put in her and then taken out. Sometimes we go through things, and this traces the blood where there's not supposed to be any. So, if you think I'm talking wishy-washy, I'm being perfectly honest about everything that's happening, but I'm always covering my tracks. And what do I mean by that? Lying to you? No, I don't lie. Sorry. Be wrong, incorrect? Yes. If you make a mistake, that's a progress point. You've just been you're taking a step beyond. Okay. When people say you're wrong, that's an attack. But anyway, here we go, floating around again. Man, this is so rough. You're going to see how things happen, how they're going to be smoother. They're going to happen gently. Those of you that have been cranked up, a lot of you are already having visitation. Most all of you are already having visitation, but some of you are actually becoming aware of it. They see it in you. Things are changing. And it's time. Things were wrong from the very first life. And it was because the original first being was born in a state of abuse just because it was alone. Can you imagine being the first being born? The first being made? And there's no one else there? To be sentient, aware. When you become aware of yourself and you become aware there's no one else, that's loneliness. That's a bitch. And then too many lower frequencies, and then it just went to crap from there. But we all came from there. It started something new. So, anyway, before I forget anything else, I'm going to run. Let me look at the summary here. things will just keep changing. You'll see it. You'll know it. You'll feel it. When you get hit real hard in the head, changing hard with the DNA, just hang in there. There's a reason for it. 7 years from now, 7 years from now, things are really going to start changing. I mean, major. That's going to happen real soon. But, before the beginning of 2019, things are going to be very seriously changed with our friends in space. But 7 years from now, it's going to take a big step beyond that. And then later on, at whatever time is possible, maybe 2054, maybe 2084, the Fae will be here starting to make bodies. So try not to hold on to an exact timeline, because there's no such thing, because what's running stuff on the other side has to make a decision. This perfect God and all that crap, folks, that's garbage. No such thing. I'll tell you what's not garbage. The fact that all of you have incredible abilities you haven't even tapped yet. Some of them you're using very softly all the time. Some of you use those more than others. But all of you have more abilities to tap than you understand yet. So, anyway, folks, look. Anything you need, let us know. I'm going to be doing, Alex, I'll be doing your video real quick about the sphere. The past few days, about making your Danbury's sphere. And then I'll send the other two spheres. Daniel will send the other two spheres with it. But we've both been hit so hard, like I said, we could barely get up. We'd stare at each other just with the faces. So that happens for growth and everything. Those of you that have been cranked up real hard, especially the DNA crank ups, and you're changing hard, that hits you. You feel it. You know why? Because it's real. It's happening. It's in a process of being proved through the scientific method with very well-known scientists. Known all over the world. They're about to be known more so. So just hang in there and keep going. And yes, when you think you see something for visitation, you know what to do. Trust yourself. Pursue it. And when you're more relaxed about things, you're going to be more accurate in what you're seeing, feeling, understanding, because you're not trying to want something to happen. If you just let things be what they are and look at what you're looking at, you're going to get a better picture of what's happening. You're going to learn more. And then that allows you to what? Understand more. And the more you understand what happens, you have greater wisdom. So we got to look at these cameras. They should be here by tomorrow. We've got one. Got to learn how to use it. Man, this is nuts. That they're made for daytime, nighttime. They have motion sensors. And I've already talked with Serene, LA, to ear, the rest of them. The other gentleman, we have to get a name for him. It's about 6-7 letters, something, I don't know. And then whatever pops up, pops up. So, right now I'm pushing myself. That part of me that separated is working the hell out of me this morning, learning how to use different formats and stuff. Like this came in wave sound, which relates to this and that. I don't know any of that stuff, but that part of me outside of me's actually leading me along, teaching me. It's kind of funny. All of you have spirit guides and everything else ready, waiting to help you. Folks, we have help. That's what they call spirit guides. And when you start talking animal spirit guides, really connect with them. Once you make a good connection with them, you'll find out you're talking with them they're so intelligent. They've been having lives longer and more of them than any other form of essence. So when it comes to understanding lives, they're more intelligent than anything else. Except maybe some of the original source that's been around forever. But the thing is, you have a ton of help. I just want you to not think you can't talk with animals, that they're not smart, because it's not. They're putting less intelligent bodies for a reason. They were putting less intelligent bodies for a reason, to make sure they didn't excel beyond humans, because the original first being male and female got more praise out of the humans. Anyway, folks, have a good day. Those of you that are getting some visitation, relax, go see who's there and just talk. Relax, see where they are, see them. As soon as you see them, you already have a link. Talk to them. And don't worry about what other people think. 1 minute someone's calling you a nut, and then the next thing you know, the FBI and Homeland Security are at your door saying, fuck, how the hell do you do that? That's not going to happen to you. I'm talking about what happened to me. So, the reason why I brought that up, it's not like a Whoopi J thing. There's no such thing as that. But it's going to go from not trusting yourself to it's a normal way of life. Just don't let anyone, push you around. You be you. You let them have to deal with who they are. That's their problem. They want to yell at you. They're ignorant, arrogant idiots. Just let them go. Or maybe they're good, loving people that are afraid. The more love you have, the less likely you ought to do that. It's just, some people are scared. A lot of people think it's really cool that they're waking up and stuff and what other people are doing. They're afraid they'll never be able to do it. Especially people that are more solar plexus. Let's do this as family, man, because that's what we are. People don't want to come to the table and eat. That's cool. They don't have to. They want to give you a hard time, just whatever. Look at them, shake your head and leave, or, might not want to be too much the way I am. I'm a little forward about things sometimes, I guess, but whatever. Folks, love you, man. Take care.